We are currently tracking Tropical Depression 9 here. You can really see the rain circulating around the center of the storm here, most likely signaling it will develop into a stronger storm. We are predicting that this storm will most likely move into the Gulf by tomorrow, which means it will most likely face less wind shear, which will most likely make it able to develop into a hurricane. And our spaghetti models are saying this will be directed to Central Florida. Back to you, Sophia.
Thank you. We are making predictions that this hurricane may hit Fort Myers head-on, but it is too early to make predictions like that.
You are listening to NOAA weather radio station WXK 83 in just Fort Myers, Florida. The voice of the National Weather Service. Broadcasting on a frequency of 162.475 MHz and a power of 100 watts. The current time is 7:50 a.m. Here is the 8 a.m. outlook for Fort Myers. Cloudy skies, mostly overcast throughout the evening. Temperatures up to 96 degrees are expected. In addition, a heat advisory still remains in effect for South Central Florida. The National Weather Service has issued a tropical storm warning for the following counties in Florida: Osco, Hernando, Osceola, Brevard, Hillsborough, Polk, Northern Manatee, Northern Hardee, Northern Highlands, Okeechobee, Indian River, St. Lucie, Seminole, Orange, Martin, Northern Samosata, Northern Glades, Northern Charlotte, Northern DeSoto, Sumter, Citrus, Lake, Southern Marion, Southern Gilchrist Lovey, Volusia, Southern Putnam, and Southern Flagler. This tropical storm warning is issued as a result of Tropical Storm Leroy on a direct path to Central Florida. Expect winds up to 64 miles per hour Tuesday morning. Flooding up to a foot may be expected. 2 to 4 inches of rain are expected. Store up supplies to last you at least 10 days. Stay tuned to local media outlets, radio stations, or commercial radio for more information on this situation.
We have some news for you this morning. Tropical Storm Leroy has moved into the Gulf this morning, where it was originally determined to make landfall on Florida as a tropical storm according to the National Weather Service, but has been heavily underestimated as it has reached winds up to 80 miles per hour, becoming a Category 1 hurricane. Stores are currently piling up with people who are trying to get out of the hurricane's path as the National Weather Service has now updated their radar, predicting Leroy to make landfall as a Category 3 hurricane. Remember folks, even though a Category 3 hurricane has winds between 111 and 129 miles per hour, it is still a dangerous storm as a hurricane can bring storm surge to coastal areas and dump heavy rain, potentially causing areas to flood or worse. Winds can also knock down faulty structures, which will cause a hazard due to debris being present in the area. Gas prices are currently rising due to multiple people preparing to evacuate. Store shelves are being emptied by people who are preparing for the destruction that the storm may bring to Florida.
Thank you, Alan. So right now we are measuring the hurricane's wind speeds. It is close to a Category 2 right now. We believe that the warm Gulf waters and low wind shear is causing this hurricane to strengthen further. Even if it is not a major storm when it impacts Florida, you still must take a hurricane seriously, as hurricanes can flood an area over time, which can cause extensive damage to the area that was impacted, especially if you are impacted by the eye wall, the strongest part of the storm. The hurricane can be devastating. For now, this station will be on commercial break. Thank you for tuning into this news station. So we have some more news for you guys. A Leroy is expected to batter the central Florida coast with winds up to 234 miles per hour. This is nothing like we ever seen before. Florida is currently under the state of emergency as the National Weather Service has issued a
The National Weather Service in Orlando has issued a hurricane warning for the following areas in Florida: Hillsborough, Pogue, Citrus, Sumter, Lake, Seminole, Orange, Manatee, Haiti, Osceola, Okeechobee, Brevard, Indian River, Charlotte, Sarasota, DeSoto, Highlands, St. Lucie, Southern Gilchrist, Southern Bradford, Levy, Propria, Putnam, Dixie, Flabber, Martin, Glades, Northern Lee, Northern Henry, Pinellas, Hernando, Northwestern Palm Beach, Marion, Southern Clay, Southern St. John, and Southeastern Dixie. This is a life-threatening situation. When? Wednesday afternoon. Where? Central Florida. What to expect? Winds up to 175 miles per hour and over are expected. Life-threatening storm surge will most likely happen on coastal areas. Expect 12 to 14 inches of rain. Tornadoes may be formed from the outer bands of the storm. To prepare, gather supplies to last you at least 14 days. If you can, evacuate. If you are not able to, board up windows so debris will not fly through the window. Take shelter on the highest point on your house's floodwaters may flow into your house. Stay tuned to local media outlets, radio stations, and commercial radio for more information on this situation.
Good morning everyone that still has power. Leroy is currently approaching land and has already left thousands without power. Folks, this is deadly.
This is NOAA Weather Radio in Fort Myers, serving you the latest weather news information. This is the 9 a.m. overlook for Fort Myers. Heavy rainfall from Hurricane Leroy is expected. Winds measured up to 200 miles per hour are currently impacting the West Florida coast. Dangerous storm surge expected on coastal areas.
The National Weather Service in Orland has issued alerts in Central Florida until 10:48 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 9:04 a.m. Doppler radar indicated heavy rainfall across the warned area. Flash flooding is ongoing across the warned area. Between 10 to 12 inches of rain have fallen as a result of Hurricane Leroy. Additional rainfall of up to 9 inches are possible in the warned area. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. This is a flash flood emergency for Fort Myers and Orlando. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Seek higher ground now. Hazard. Flash flooding caused by heavy rain and storm surge. Impact. Life-threatening flash flooding of low water crossings, small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets and underpasses, as well as other poor drainage and low-lying areas. Turn around. Don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Repeating, a flash flood warning has been issued until 10:48 a.m. for the following areas: Orlando and Fort Myers. The National Weather Service in Orland has issued alerts in Central Florida until 10:48 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 9:04 a.m. Doppler.
Civil emergency message for all of Central Florida. The following message was transmitted at the request of the Florida National Guard and the National Weather Service. Excessive flooding and heavy wind from Hurricane Leroy is causing massive damage across multiple counties in Central Florida, which may cause the area to be inhabitable for weeks. This storm is expected to continue its rampage over Central Florida for the next 2 hours. In the meantime, all residents must seek higher ground as flooding up to 10 feet or higher is expected. Weakly constructed houses or structures will be destroyed. Well-constructed buildings will face extensive damage. Devastating storm surge will cause further damage to buildings and structures. Repeating, immediate threat to life from Hurricane Leroy. Take shelter now. Civil danger warning. This is not a test. This message has been transmitted at the request of the Wildlife Management Service and the National Weather Service. Due to extensive flooding from the Gulf of Mexico, it has introduced multiple sea life creatures that may pose a threat to humans. These creatures include, but are not limited to, sharks, alligators, snakes, crabs, jellyfish, and stingrays. Going in flood water is not advised as you may get attacked by one of these animals and therefore will increase your risk of drowning. Going in floodwaters are also not advised as debris and multiple other items are floating around. Collision with one of these items may occur, causing damage to buildings, and most likely will hurt you, if not fatally injure you. In addition, after this hurricane passes on, rescue teams will be sent to the area. Stay alert and prepared in case you see a wildlife creature. Repeating, extensive floodwaters are causing wildlife creatures to roam around the area. To protect your life, seek higher ground now. Look at this. It's completely destroyed out here. Do you see anybody still alive?
No, I don't see any signs of life besides the wildlife creatures. This is just absolutely crazy.
Look. There are people trapped on that hotel over here. Let's get them on this helicopter. We have no time to waste.